of faith is disturbing.
Believe it.
What's going on, Geeks? You're listening to episode 416 of the Geeks Under Grace podcast. My name is Cody Armour. I'm here with Jonathan Nichols.
What's up?
And this week, we're geeking out about ads everywhere. Not really. Nobody's geeking out about that. Frankenstein's monster, because he is not Frankenstein. Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster are two different entities. Know your literature. And Tudum, like the Netflix sound. I promise it'll make sense. It's an event.
Maybe.
I'll just say that. We don't have to yeah. It's the worst name for an event ever.
It is.
Tudum. But I'm going to remember it, I guess. Maybe it's not. Maybe someone's a genius. I hate it.
I'll forget it in T-minus 5 seconds.
Yeah, yep. Before we get into any of the gaming and stuff we've been doing, we've been gone the last couple weeks. Last week was a holiday. The week before that, I was at a funeral. I was like, what was I doing? It's been such a busy month. But Renfaire season is over. So I'm really excited to kind of dive back into GUG stuff, because Renfaire season kind of takes up my whole life.
And I also need to financially recover from Renfaire season. So
yes, so do we all. Yeah, and like I said, I had a funeral it was 12 hours away. So I drove 6 hours Monday, 6 hours Tuesday, 6 hours Wednesday, and then 6 hours Thursday. A couple weeks ago. It was so much. But excited to be back into all of it. Renfaire season was great. I don't really know much of a recap. It's just Renfaire. You just you go and you shop around and dress up and be merry.
I've got a funny story from yesterday, actually. So it was last week. I was taking people 2 days in a row, and I was like, I'm going to go all out on my costume. Decided to go Witcher inspired, so I did scar makeup on my face, shaved my beard until a goatee, had scars going down the side of my face, and then decided to temporarily dye my hair gray. And so I asked this makeup artist that works in movies, what do you use? She told me what to use, told me what to buy, where to buy it. The lady behind the counter gave me the wrong stuff. Spoiler alert. Went to spray my hair Saturday morning, and it was nothing but straight glitter. So I was like, oh no, I look like Edward from Twilight. Jumped in the shower, tried to wash it out, and instead my whole body was just covered in glitter. So...
oh no.
Then my wife proceeded to...
You're going to be finding
Twilight.
glitter, I feel like, for like 2 months. I feel like 2 months from now, you're like, there's still glitter on my pillow.
Yeah, it's everywhere. I went to work with the glitter on my face. I took a shower this morning, and it was still coming off my scalp. And I was like leaving and looked in the mirror, and I had glitter, and had to explain to my boss why I was covered in glitter. And
the personification of Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
No, that's great. Yeah, Renfaire is so interesting to me because there's this whole we do the Friends of Fair at our fair, and our fair is relatively small, the Muskogee one. And so there are so many people that you don't know, you don't really talk to outside of fair, but you get there and you're just best friends with them for some reason. Yeah, you kind of saw it. Just everyone knows everyone, and then I probably won't talk to most of them until next year, which is it's crazy, but always a lot of fun. If you want just fun community where people are really accepting of your goofiness, check out Renfaire.
And spoiler alert, everyone loves Cody. So
no. Everyone loves everyone.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Cody's pretty popular. Makes me feel cool hanging out with him.
We have a lot of fun for sure.
Oh yeah.
But because of that, I haven't really played any video games. I haven't watched any movies. I watched a little bit of TV we can talk about, but have you been playing any video games?
Yeah, so I started replaying Cyberpunk 2077, but some of it's a little too close to real life right now. With all the in-game, all the ads everywhere. And then I've been playing Ark Survival Evolved again. I just found out it has a story. I had no idea it had a story.
Oh,
I've
that's cool.
got probably 500 hours on the Xbox and then probably another 200 on PC, and just recently found out there's actually a story mission.
Has there always been a story?
There has been.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. I've never played it though.
So typically the way it works is every island there's 3 bosses and then a fourth secret boss. You beat the fourth boss, it sends you to the next story part, which is typically the next map. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, we're trying to do that, but I'm
Huh.
kind of cheating so I can get to it faster. So
Yeah, you just want to play it.
yeah.
I am considering heavily. We'll see if it actually happens. Playing some Baldur's Gate soon. I have not played it yet. Heard great things.
It's worth it.
So may do that in the future, but we'll see.
You'll get addicted. It's really good.
Yeah, I'll be all I talk about for months. I'm
Yeah.
sure. You doing any other games?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Oh,
Well, we'll get into the gaming news then, and I'll let you take it
okay.
over.
We're finally going to play James Bond again. The Hitman devs, IO Interactive, they have been working on a 007 game, and apparently we're getting our first look this week. So
Yeah, I hate when news is there will be news later.
yeah, sorry guys.
Summer Games is next week, and we'll probably have a ton of news because of that.
But
I
it's
just feel like
exciting.
everyone's gonna want this to be GoldenEye, and it's definitely not gonna be GoldenEye. It'll be Hitman.
I think it's gonna be Hitman with James Bond. So
Yeah,
um,
like GoldenEye would be really hard to top. I think the nostalgia for GoldenEye, and there are so many. I'm sorry, purists, but there are so many better shooters than GoldenEye now. That trying to make a GoldenEye that really or GoldenEye 2 that would really work. I don't think would do well.
they did a remake with Daniel Craig probably 10 years ago, and it wasn't good. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
same story. They tried really hard and it wasn't good. But
yeah, it'd be hard to get.
But it looks good. The key art looks good. It's very Hitman-esque. But he looks really young. So I'm kind of thinking it's a prequel.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But also, speaking of ads in Cyberpunk, we are living in a Cyberpunk reality because Activision is quietly forcing advertisements into Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, and Warzone. So every time you go to create your loadout, you're getting ads.
Could you imagine being tired of that and then going to Cyberpunk and be like, they're everywhere?
Yeah. I'm like, here's my thing. Cyberpunk, Blade Runner, they're all warnings, not documentaries. So we shouldn't be going that way, but we are.
Yeah, I was saying off podcast. I watched. There's a TikToker that comes up all the time, Rin. She's was a travel vlogger. She's kind of been doing other things now, but she was going all over the country and just or all over the world, and just doing just jobs, summer jobs, basically. It was really cool to follow for a long time. But she just got a TV. She's very excited about. But it was a free 60-inch television, and with that television came this big bar that you put at the bottom of your TV, and that bar runs banner ads the entire time you watch TV. And I'm not sure if you're I don't know, could you cover it up? I don't know how it all works. She just says that it doesn't bother her to see the ads at the bottom. She doesn't pay attention because she's watching the show. It would drive me nuts.
Well, she probably doesn't have ADHD like us, so
possible. Yeah. I would feel like it probably doesn't have cameras on it, but maybe it has light sensors so that if you covered it anyway and there was no light, then it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I would assume that's how they would do it, because if not, you could just, it looks like it's a separate plug-in. You would just plug it in and then put it, face down and hide it. But wild that we live in that kind of world. I could totally see in the future so many things becoming that. There's going to be ads everywhere. You're going to get into an Uber, and instead of being able to look outside, you're just going to have ads on your windows.
This is my fear with the Neuralink, it's like you're gonna get it. And it's like this is amazing, and then it's just gonna be
Just
ads in your brain.
yeah, the very bottom of your peripheral vision, just
Yeah,
at all times.
it's like all
Or
these.
just you could just hear it. Just one of them pop
Yeah,
off like a radio ad.
this is brought to you by Colgate. No.
Yeah,
um.
you're at a funeral, you just start getting casket ads.
Yeah.
Man,
Um.
uh, we're living in the apocalypse. It's fine.
It's here. I guess we can start dressing all punk again, since it's
Yeah. Let's look at the bright side.
yeah. Bring back
I
the
did
tall
buy a pretty Mad
mohawks.
Maxian vehicle.
Yeah, you did just in time.
Yeah.
Um.
It's not throwing ads at me yet, so
Yeah.
in due time.
I think we're both safe. Our vehicles are just old enough where it doesn't have all the it has it's got
You know what? I say that, but Spotify, it hasn't done it to me yet, but they're testing Spotify, like premium users will have to pay an extra premium, and the normal premium will give you ads. And that's what I listen to music on. So my FJ could start feeding me ads soon.
that makes me sad.
Unknowingly. Yeah. I don't know. I've heard that they're just testing it and it's not fully out.
Lame.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to segue out of that one.
Yeah. It's so sad.
But on maybe some brighter news, there's a state of Unreal for the Summer Games Fest, and they are
Yeah.
showing off The Witcher 4. So
Yeah. You could say it's an ad for Witcher 4.
you could. I mean, it is.
Fortunately, we're excited for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. So
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's gonna be great.
I just realized, this was not intentional, but most of the news that we're talking about today are trailers for things.
Yeah.
Or news of trailers in the sense of, the Witcher 4 footage. That's kind of wild. I always love to see what Unreal Engine is doing. It's kind of blown my mind every time they've released Unreal Engine footage.
Yeah.
So, and it just keeps getting better and better. So, yeah.
Unreal Engine 5 is one of the best filmmaking tools that's come out in a while. And I'm really wanting to try to push it on a project soon. And because it's free. And when you get it, you get Quixel Mega Scans for free. So long as you use it in Unreal. And so you get like these lifelike photo scans that you can use on stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's totally free. And so like you could just make anything in it. And it looks good. Like it doesn't take much work to make it look good.
That's
So
cool.
yeah. I'm excited to see what they show.
Yeah. We will get into the movies then. You watched any movies this week?
I have not. Unfortunately.
No. We'll get into the movie news then, because I have not either. I still haven't seen Thunderbolts. I'll throw that out there. I saw a news story that said it was no longer in theaters, which terrified me. My theater is still showing it, so it must be just leaving some theaters already.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I have at least another week. But I need to watch it soon. I got really emotional this morning when I read that because I have seen every Marvel movie, MCU movie in theaters. And so to miss it would have been a bummer. But I figured I had more than a month to, watch the movie.
Yeah. It's they're saying it's underperforming, and I'm also like, but it's barely been a month.
Yeah.
So
I've heard really great things about it, so I want to see it. But anyways, we have I saw a movie. I watched Rogue One. Didn't feel like a movie because we watched Andor up through, and then Rogue One at that point is not a movie, it's just a feature-length finale.
Yeah, essentially.
It's really good. I will say my only complaint with Rogue One, and I understand because at the time it was the only Star Wars thing that wasn't like Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
the music is so campy
Yeah,
because
it
it's
is.
Star Wars music. And I'm like, that was the one thing that Andor really fixed, I believe. I think that's is the soundtracking.
Hmm.
It doesn't sound like Star Wars all the time. And
Hmm.
so I think Rogue One could benefit. My wife called it a reskin of the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I would love to see that done. But I don't have much to say on it. It's an old movie. Watch Rogue One. Watch Andor and then watch Rogue One. I'll talk about Andor in a little while. We have a few different trailers here. We have Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man, which looks like it takes place in the South.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm kind of for it. The font threw me off. I was like, it looks like it takes place in the South, but the font is like old hear ye, like Roman's font.
Yeah, I guess it could be like Southern Belle, you could say, maybe.
Okay. Yeah,
So
the font threw me off for sure. Huge cast as expected, you know. Let me see if I can find it easily. I think I just played it into the podcast sound. Whoops. Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close. I don't know that name. Josh Brolin, Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner, Kerry Washington, Andrew Scott. I don't know that name. Daryl McCormick and Thomas Hayden Church.
Hmm.
Kaylee Spaney? I think I'm saying that wrong. It's hard to read in that font. But yeah, massive cast as always, and it looks really good.
definitely, I mean, they're using like a bluegrass soundtrack or like song to this.
Yeah, I think that's where I get the southernness from. That font looks like it's a medieval movie. Maybe it takes place at a Renaissance fair.
There it is. Yeah, that would be such a good film, like a murder mystery at a Renaissance festival.
At the Renaissance fair.
Because then like half of the people would be like, "Oh, this is part of the show,"
Yeah, right.
and
We
they're
don't
not
know.
taking
We
it
don't
serious.
know.
And then it's like, "Oh no, this is actually a murder." And they get...
That's kind of how Knives Out 2 is, right? Is that Knives Out 2?
Oh,
One of them has kind of like it's a murder mystery party. I might be thinking of Knives Out 1.
I think
Can't remember.
so. Yeah.
But they're like doing like a murder mystery party, and then I might be thinking of, this is so embarrassing, the what was the Adam Sandler movie? I think it's literally called Murder Mystery.
I think you're right.
I think that's the one where they're at a murder mystery party, and
I
then
think so.
a
Okay.
murder happens, and they're like, "Oh, it's part of the show, part of the game."
Let me. I'm trying to find his films real quick. Yeah, it's called Murder Mystery.
Yeah. Also a great movie, but Knives Out are good too. That'll be coming out December 12th, 2025. And then another trailer that we have also from Netflix's Tudum is Frankenstein. She pointed out, I completely missed that one. Looks really good.
Looks really, really good.
Oscar Isaac is in it. I don't know who's playing Frankenstein or Frankenstein's monster. Didn't catch that.
It's Jacob Elordi, I think.
Okay.
I think. Yes, it's him. Yes, Guillermo del Toro is directing.
Yes.
So
That's important too. The moral of the story is that Frankenstein, in the end, is the monster.
yeah,
Even though he's not the monster. Frankenstein's the monster.
which I just love in pop culture that Frankenstein is the monster. Like he just because no one knows
Yeah.
them. Like I don't even know if the monster has a name, but it's
He does in Creature Commando.
Does he? I thought he was just called Frankenstein.
Maybe
Oh,
he is just
no.
called Frankenstein.
I
No,
know,
he's got a first name.
It's a Von Frankenstein. I don't know.
Von Frankenstein, that could be. His name's Von. It's fine.
I apologize to everyone for my sense of humor, but Uh, he's just called Frankenstein, and David Harbour plays him. Okay,
Okay.
okay,
As his last name, because he's Frankenstein's son.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Couldn't
David
remember.
Harbour played him.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Mm.
I hope that he reprises the role somehow.
Live
Like
action.
in live action.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because he'd be perfect.
yeah, he would be.
So good. Um, where are we at? We have Keanu Reeves. Is unhappy with the Constantine 2 script, which didn't surprise me. They wanted to make it like a big Marvel-esque based movie,
Yeah.
because that's what makes money. And he's like, no, Constantine 1 was this cult classic. We need to do this very simple, like, supernatural
Yeah.
thing. So, I would listen to Keanu Reeves. He doesn't want more John Wick. And I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
I want more John Wick, but I just want it to be John Wick.
Yeah,
I don't need
exactly.
Constantine to be John Wick.
I agree. We were talking about how he is in like the comics at other medium, and it's
Very
like,
quippy.
yeah, very quippy, you know, sarcastic, and I just feel
Mhm.
like Keanu is just John Wick, unfortunately. And so I feel like
Yeah.
when he plays Constantine, it's just gonna be John Wick.
Yeah.
Probably
There's a
also has
guy
a lot of hair.
in the Arrowverse. I can't remember his name, but he plays him in like Justice League, the Justice League animated films too. And I would kind of like a movie with him as Constantine in the actual like world, the DCU world, because he's
Yeah.
kind of just claimed that role for some reason. And he's just Constantine in everything now. Um, Constantine Arrowverse actor, but he does the role really well. Matt Ryan. He's just this very like tired looking, like trench coat, smoking a cigarette. You're all idiots because you don't understand the supernatural. Like, I think he
Yeah.
fits the role really well.
Yeah.
And I love when like actors just become a character and decide that that's going to be them forever.
I didn't know there was a CW show, Constantine.
Yes, and that's crazy too. So there's a CW show not connected to the Arrowverse, and then in the Arrowverse they took that Constantine actor and just made him part of the Arrowverse, and so it's got this loose connection. And then in the animated stuff, he started taking on that too. I heard that this CW show did not do well,
Yeah.
or NBC. It was on NBC originally,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and then he jumped over. I think that's why it had to be different universes, but it's the same actor, and he's just been playing Constantine for like 10 years now.
Yeah, Matt Ryan says he's 5'11",
You should
but he's probably not 5'11".
you should watch all the Justice League War movies if you
Okay.
haven't. They're all amazing, but Justice League Dark is when Batman finds like Constantine's team, Justice League team, and it's so good.
I think I've watched all of them except that one and maybe the last two.
Oh, Justice League Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I think that's Justice League Dark Apocalypse. That's also really good.
Okay.
And then all of the movies after that stopped having that animation style, and they're not nearly as good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Justice League Dark Apocalypse is the last of that universe. But yeah, we'll see. I hope Keanu Reeves gets what he wants out of it. I think that like he's been waiting for this for a really long time. He deserves it. And I trust Keanu Reeves to kind of do the right thing with it. I don't trust WB execs to do the right thing with almost anything.
No. Maybe Superman. I think they're doing okay with that, but
Yeah. The last piece of news in the movies, we had 4 of them, is Fantastic Four First Steps is 2 hours and 10 minutes long. We finally got a runtime. And it is the longest movie since The Guardians 3.
I just realized something. I wonder if the first steps has to do with the the main bad guy. Oh my gosh, Galactus. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Because like in the trailer, all the trailers just show him walking on the streets.
It's his first steps.
Yeah. Sorry, bad joke
Yeah, I'll
again.
be curious.
That's
I'll be
what I
curious what the
was
first steps
thinking of.
represents. We'll see. 2 hours 10 minutes is a long time for a movie. Hopefully it's good. I think it will be. It looks all right. I don't like the way the thing looks. I'm gonna be honest with everyone.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted the thing to look more like what's his name? Korg.
Yeah.
I just wanted a yellow Korg.
Yeah. I kind of like it because it kind of feels like the comic book version, but
I know it's comic accurate, but
it is off-putting. Like,
yeah, the eyebrows are just so big.
uh, the guy that's playing Galactus, Ralph Ineson, I believe is how you say his last name. He was like,
Okay.
to get in the mindset of the role, I just go down tunnels and just pretend like I'm going down my Galactus's throat, like he's swallowing me. And he's like, I spent a lot of time in big buildings, pretending like I was the building. Yeah, he's like going on full method actor.
Okay.
It's so funny reading. Like, he's like, I just found big things that got inside of him.
It was like this is how I would be. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like he should have found like miniatures and just be like, "Hey, can I walk around your train set, please?"
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be
Like
so
go to
funny.
Legoland, and then the little cities in Legoland, and just
Yeah.
walk around the Legoland.
He's like in
That would be
full.
my.
He walks off the set in costume. He's walking around.
Just in Legoland, stomping on bricks.
Sir, you please quit eating the Lego figurines. He's like, ah.
Yeah. How dare you speak to me? That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like I'd feel really small getting in like big buildings and things. I would want to. If I'm black,
Yeah, that's what I was
be real
thinking.
big.
I guess he was pretending like he was being consumed by Galactus, and he's like, "This is how it feels like."
He wanted to be in other people's shoes.
Yeah, I'm like, I think that's the opposite, but okay.
That's awesome though. We'll go on to TV. We do have. I didn't play TV. I watched some TV. Did you watch any TV shows?
So we are continuing the Daredevil series. We're slowly making through it. Like we're getting like half an episode right now a night. So
Okay.
it's
The
pretty
original,
slow.
correct?
Yeah, the original. We're still in season 1, but we're like halfway.
Have you seen the interview with Charlie Cox, where his parents were like, "It's really good, but it's pretty like similar to the first season." And he was like, "Oh yeah, like how so?" They're like, "Well, it's giving your origin story and stuff again." And he was like, "Guys, you're just watching the show again." They were just watching.
They're like, man, like this is good, but it's the same plot line.
Yeah. It's just been so long since they've seen it, they forgot. And then I don't know if this is true or not. If he has to have been joking, but he was like, "Yeah." And then like a week later, they called me up and they're like, "This doesn't even look like you," and it was Ben Affleck's Daredevil. And he's like, "That was the movie, Mom." I'm like, "There's no way that's true."
Fun fact: he's also a method actor. He just wears a blindfold underneath his mask.
Yeah. Oh,
He's developed
man.
echolocation, so he can actually act.
Yeah. He's actually done it. I've seen people complain. They're like, "Oh man, you should have left that role for someone who is actually blind." So because there's not a lot of blind actors that get to. It was like, but all the stunt coordination would be impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but there have been some really cool. I mean, Echo is a really good example. I believe she's actually deaf, and then there's an episode in Walking Dead that is just as like a silent horror, because one of the characters is deaf, and so they're in a house and there are people trying to like kill her, and she can't hear anyone, just by herself, and so the whole episode is like in the quiet, and you hear like just very faint scutterings across
Mm,
the screen.
it's really cool.
Really awesome. So you could do something blind, but I feel like Daredevil is probably not the place to start.
No.
um, that's awesome. Daredevil's so good. One of my favorite Marvel shows. The shows that I have been watching are Last of Us. I got one more episode to the finale. I'm a little behind. It has been very good. I cried today watching the second to last episode. I've become such a baby. Um, cry so much TV. I don't know. Didn't used to when I was like younger. I would always make fun of my wife for crying and TV stuff. I'm like, it's not even sad. Why are you crying? It's not that bad. And now, like the dumbest thing I'll just be pouring tears. um, but yeah, so that show is good. I know a lot of people have qualms with some of the acting, but I think the acting is phenomenal. So I think people are mad because the cast doesn't look like the game's characters, but the
Yeah.
acting is good acting.
Yeah. I finished the first season. I haven't started the second season, but I played the game, so I gotta know what happens.
Hmm.
So like I'm not afraid of spoilers with the show. I was a little surprised that they did try to restructure it just a little bit,
Hmm.
so it could keep some surprise going. Um, I Yeah, that's the thing. Like the acting's still good. It's just the direction is different than how they did it in the game, and I think that's what's
Hmm.
really throwing people off. It's like they're not trying to copy the game one to one, and
Yeah.
so people are comparing digital characters to like actual actors, and yeah, I think it's not fair comparison.
Yeah. I thought there'll be scenes too that are like, they are 1-to-1, that are crazily like put together. It's almost like we could do this if we wanted, but we're not.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
I could see maybe that makes a lot of people frustrated because like they see like there's a scene where they're just like going out into the city and the camera pans just like the same way that it does in the game into this scene that looks just like the game did. It's really cool. But I think like literally right after that the plot splits off.
yeah,
I don't know. I think they're doing a phenomenal job. Liking it a lot. The other thing I finished was Andor, and Andor is I keep telling everyone, Andor season 1 is really good. It's great. It is my favorite Star Wars thing, like above any other Star Wars thing, including 4, 5, and 6. Um, Andor is the best thing to come out of Star Wars. Season 2 is better. Season 2 of Andor it's so different. Like they just heightened it so much. Andor season 1 kind of felt like it still felt like a streaming TV show, I guess. So it was high
hmm
quality, but it was good. Some of the episodes of Andor, especially towards the end, feel like movies. Um,
yeah,
it's gotten just the writing and the cinematography and just everything hit exactly as it should. I will say I don't want to give too much away on the show. I will say this about the final episode because I think it's really cool and it doesn't give anything away really. Um, the final episode doesn't feel like the finale of a show. It feels like the penultimate finale of a show or penultimate episode, and so it really does. I was kind of joking about that earlier, but it really does make Rogue One the finale of Andor,
yeah.
which I think is cool.
That's really smart too.
Yeah, it brings you back into the movie. Yeah, Andor's finale feels very emotional and quiet, and it feels like this build up to something, and then the show ends. And so you kind of go, "What's next?" Well, then you go to Rogue One, and it literally picks up from the show.
Hmm.
Um, Alan Tudyk's KS2O, still amazing. Someone mentioned to me, this is off topic, but someone mentioned in I believe it was Love Thy Nerds Facebook group, that Chopper and KS20 would have been on Yavin at the same time for at least a year. Do you know who Chopper is? Do you know much about Star Wars Rebels and that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I want that buddy cop movie
That would be amazing.
of those two just completely destroying like rebel or empire like stuff.
Yeah.
Like they are I think of like R2D2 and C3PO, and this is the Wario and Waluigi of those two. Like they're the good guys, they're the heroes, and then these are just like they're the good guys in quotations.
Yeah, that'd be really good. I need to catch up on Andor, but I've also been considering rewatching Rebels because it's been so long, and so I don't know. Like,
One thing that was really cool to do is I don't know. So I say Rebels. I really know Chopper more from Ahsoka, but I watched episode 9 of of Andor lines up with an episode of Rebels. Like they take place within minutes of each other, and it shares a character. It shares multiple characters.
that's really cool.
Yeah, so I didn't know much about Rebels, but I like went from watching Andor episode 9 to an animated episode in the same night, and got to watch the continuation of that story. And it's
That's really
cool. I love the Rebels characters get all of the like glory. They get all of the recognition for what's happening in that event. And it really was all Andor. And Andor just kind of like passes it off to them, and then they finish it. And so they get like, even in I think Rogue One, they say something about Gold Squadron.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's like, well, okay. Like Andor did all the heavy lifting.
That's funny.
You leave Cassian alone. Give him his credit. He's a silent hero. Yeah, I don't know. It gives so much depth to that movie. There are so many things that Cassian says in Cassian Andor, for those who are confused. Cassian says in Rogue One they were just like cool. But like have a deeper meaning because of Andor. I think one of them would be, there's like a really quick line in the movie was rebellions are built on hope. He says it, and then Jin says it, and it's like an awe moment that gets more context from the show, and you go, oh, that's really cool. Just little things like that. But yeah, watch Andor. I would say watch Andor and then watch Rebels.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because Andor will blow your mind. I'm sad that it's over. I'm glad that it's finished and then it capped out, but I wish Star Wars was more of Andor and not what it is, which is terrible to say. I'm not a true fan. Yeah. It's probably one of the best cyberpunk shows I've watched in a long time. Put it that way.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with Star Wars is like I feel like George Lucas wanted to lean into that side of it, and Disney was like, no, we gotta capture the nostalgia, and basically remake the same trilogy over again, both new characters, and not understand how to actually tell stories and make things make sense, which is
the only project that I'm really looking forward to right now is the Darth Maul Shadow Lord.
Yeah.
I've read that they're like, oh no, these are still villains. They're just fighting worse villains. And like, we're not making them the good guys. And I was like, well, that could make that really cool.
Yeah.
Like, we're not redeeming Maul. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, one of the things I read was like, Maul's still a bad guy, but then he realizes that maybe Palpatine is far worse than he realized. And he's like, oh, is this what he was trying to make? Like, talking about the Empire? Like, this is far worse than, So.
I think that, too, is something I love about Andor. Star Wars is all about these are the good guys and these are the bad guys, and that is how life is. And all of Star Wars is like that. I think that was a rule that George Lucas had written at one point and kind of threw away after a while. I remember reading that somewhere that was a rule he had, was like the light side was the light side and the dark side was the dark side, and there was no like in between people. Like good people were
Yeah,
good
yeah.
people. But all of Andor, like these characters are making really questionable decisions for the sake of the rebellion. They're the people like getting their hands dirty. Um, I think Luthen is one of the characters in there. Like he's a really good example of that. He was willing to do what like no one else was willing to do, and he was a big reason why things got done for the good side. And so,
In
yeah, I don't know.
theory,
Whole show's good.
in theory, Luke Skywalker killed more people than Darth Vader because he blew up the Death Star.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's like so many people on that.
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
like
it's
the
the
whole
bad
joke of
guys.
Chopper. I didn't know, like, I thought Chopper destroyed a planet or something. I don't know why I thought that, but there's like the running joke with Chopper is that he's got the largest kill count.
Yeah.
And it's all the starships that he's the like star destroyers that he's gone and blown up himself.
That's
And
what.
he's just
Yeah.
this like adorable little R2D2 running around.
Yeah.
The Chopper's awesome. KS2O is awesome too. I want that buddy cop movie. We can move on. We have a couple trailers from from Netflix, right? Yeah, they're both Netflix.
Yes.
Stranger Things, looking amazing. They don't look super de-aged. I was told they're gonna de-age them, the characters, for the show. Maybe they retconned
Yeah.
that. Maybe they decided against that.
Yeah, they look 20 years old, but they're supposed to be like 15 or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's a little weird, but oh well.
I remember seeing a thing that said that they were going to be de-aged. And I was like, it's gonna look really bad. Like digitally de-aged.
Yeah.
That tech is just not here yet. I know everyone wants it to be here.
One day, but yeah, it's nowhere close.
Yeah. And that was one thing walking to Rogue One. And Tarkin. It just looks so CGI.
It looks like really bad Instagram filters.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, looks good. Looks awesome. We did get some footage. I didn't think we were gonna get any footage because it kind of starts off with some dialogue, but then it's just flashbacks of the old seasons. But I'm excited for it. The stakes are gonna be high. It's been such a great show.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that it's still going and how long it's taken. I think because the writer's strike and stuff and COVID and all those things.
Yeah. I just feel like someone's going to die, and I don't know who it is. I just have a feeling it's gonna be one of the
Someone
main
has to.
characters. Yeah, it's gonna be one. I don't know if it would be 11. I feel like that would be the easy answer.
Yeah.
It could be Will, because I don't know. Everyone hates Will for some reason online. I don't know why, but
Yeah, I feel like the main character, I can't remember his name. 11's
yeah,
boyfriend. Couldn't kill him.
no. But I can't have too happy of an ending. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I said this about Game of Thrones. I'm gonna say about Stranger Things. Just let the Upside Down take over. Let it end with it completely killing the world.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, I swear by this, should have ended with the Night King, or whatever he was called. The Frost Zombie just sitting on the Iron Throne. And everyone would have been angry, but it would have been the perfect ending.
But he was a better story than Bran.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I stand by it.
Literally sat on a sled for 8 seasons.
Yeah.
But who has a better story? I mean, literally anyone. Just pick anyone.
Yeah. The Night King. That's my choice.
Yeah.
You know how mad people would have been if just everyone died and we watched all that for nothing and the Night King wins?
I mean, that was basically the show, was your favorite character dying. So,
yeah. That would make sense.
When,
and he was like, it doesn't matter who your favorite character was, they're dead now.
Yep.
Westeros is taken over.
It's like,
I suppose if you do that, you can't have any sequels, and they wanted to milk this thing for all it was worth.
yeah.
But I don't know, it would have been really cool. Frozen Wasteland. We're gonna move on. Oh no. One more thing with the Stranger Things. November, we have release dates. It's got volumes, parts. Part 1, 2, and 3 November 26th, December 25th, December 31st. So we're going to spend all Christmas watching Stranger Things.
Probably going to be watching the first episode. Let's see, where's my calendar? I was gonna say that's the Texas Renfaire, but I don't. I think it's a few days after that. So
Oh.
the last weekend.
Oh. I will be out of town.
Yeah, November 30th is the ending weekend. So I think it's right before.
Okay.
Might have time to watch it. Yeah.
That's cool. And then the last trailer, we have a third season of Squid Games, which still looks engaging to me. I don't know if everyone feels that way. It's more games, which I thought was like, it's crazy they're making the game still interesting to me.
Yeah.
But I'm here for it. I'm glad that it's ending. I think it needs to end. If you give me any more seasons that are just more games, it's going to get a little ridiculous. But
yeah, I don't want to spoil season 2, but it definitely takes does a 180.
Yeah,
like almost halfway through the season, and I wasn't expecting season 3 to be like it is. Like I was expecting more of the ending of season 2, so it's kind of cool that they're like I don't feel like it's gonna stay that way. I don't want to spoil it, but
yeah, I think it's
really
really fast.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked for it. I think I'm really excited as well. Not a whole lot to add there, but
it comes out this month.
I didn't look at the release date on that one.
June 27th.
June 27th. Yeah, later this month. Cool. Well, we will end the podcast there then. You can get out about anything else this week? Should ask that first.
I don't think so. Summer Games Fest. We'll see what gets announced.
Yeah. Where can they find you at?
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok under @DifferentLensMedia.
Cool. And you can find me on Instagram @Cody Armour. Keep gaming, keep praying, and God bless.